Yo, what is going on everyone? Guiding Light here, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how it is that you can complete the blood sacrifice Easter egg here on the brand new map, the Tomb. Now, once this is completed, you will be able to get rewarded with a free gold-plated armor set, and the craziest thing about this armor set is that it actually does replenish over time, meaning you do not ever need to buy plates again once you do this. So very quickly, guys, let's hop into the Tomb, and I will walk you guys through all of the steps required in order to get this one done. Now, one thing which might make this easier is having a gobble gun, which can upgrade your gun instantly to gold, and having a gobble gum, which can increase your armor health. And also, the last part would be to have a gobble gum, which maybe spawns up insta kill. Now, this is actually an extremely difficult task to complete, and I did end up doing it on solo. I didn't really use many gobble gums or anything, so I'm gonna walk you guys through exactly how it is I was able to finish this. Now, this is extremely easy to start. However, once this is started, there are two extremely difficult boss fights which you have to complete in order to get this gold-plated armor. So before we go into the boss fight, what you'll want to do is get yourself a pack level 3 weapon. And then on top of that, you will want to make sure that it is all the way upgraded. Now, you could use the staff for this or a ray gun. I honestly think that the ray gun would be one of the better options for this. However, I was just simply running AS Val pack level 3 with the dead wire ammo mod. Now, once you guys start up these boss fights, you will not be able to use any kill streaks, and you actually will not be able to get health back either. So you want to make sure you have a 3-plate armor pack before going into this boss fight, because once the boss fight starts, all health will be gone, and you will be left with just your armor. Now, in order to start this, what you'll have to do is come over here into the portal. You're going to come to this green portal first, and right next to this palm tree, you will find one of these stone heads. Now, there's going to be 2 stone heads which you need to pick up. That's going to be the first one there. It's going to be next to that green portal underneath the palm tree. Now, the second one you may have already seen. It's over here next to Juggernaut in a similar crate. Now, in order to open these, you have to melee them a few times until eventually they break open. Again, you will find this stone head, and you will be able to then go ahead and start up the blood ritual once you guys have these 2 stone heads collected. Now, what you want to do before starting this is make sure you get a couple monkey bombs. And again, guys, just make sure you're super prepared for this. Now, if you fail it, you can try it again on the next round. So you might want to go in with a self-revive as well. Another thing to keep in mind when running this boss fight is that any zombies that are already on the map with you will come into this area as well, and you'll have to fight them at the same time as the boss fight. Now, once you guys are prepared, what you'll want to do is come back to the spawn room. There's going to be these 2 statues here, and this is where you're going to end up placing these stone heads. Now, there's one statue here, and then there's another one at the top of the staircase. Once you guys place these 2 stone heads, you'll be able to start what is known as the blood sacrifice. Now, there's going to be 2 different boss fights. Each statue is going to spawn up 2 different bosses. Now, the one by Pack-a-Punch is considerably harder than the one that is by the portal spawn. However, at some point or another, you're going to have to take down both of these bosses, and so it doesn't really matter which one you do first or not. Now, once you get the first boss fight done, you will get like a checkpoint, and you can start up the boss fight or the second boss fight pretty much whenever you want, even if it's a couple rounds later. Now, the way I was able to beat this section of the boss is to bring in a couple monkey bombs. Now, the monkey bombs will not distract the bosses, but if real zombies end up spawning, you can use those to distract. Another thing to keep in mind is the first time I did this, I went in, I made sure that it was the very end of the round, and then I went in so that there would be no zombies distracting me. But this actually made things harder because when there's no other zombies on the map, you will not be able to get any additional armor plates, as there will not be any dropping on the ground, and there isn't any that you can purchase. Another tip would be to go ahead and make sure you have a few extra cash stacks laying around, because you will most likely have to buy ammo at some point or another as well. Now, once this boss fight starts, you're going to see the whole entire screen goes red, and there's really nothing you can do to try and see through it, even if you have the perk that sees zombies through walls. So what I did is I just simply looked at my minimap. Anytime that I had to rotate around the map, I actually did not look at my screen, and instead I would just look at the minimap so that I could control my character through there, and it actually helped quite a bit. Now, when it was time to turn around and shoot, obviously I would look at my screen, but anytime that I had to rotate, I would just simply stare at my minimap, because the minimap will tell you exactly where all the bosses are, so you don't have to really worry too much about getting hit. Now, if you stay on the outskirts of the map, you can just simply come to these 3 points and do damage at each point. Now, it will take a while, and you can always restock up on armor, but it's going to cost 10k for additional armor. That's why I suggest making sure there's some extra zombies in here. But you can see the strategy I'm using is I'm just sticking to this outer ring of the map, and then I go and I get to these safe spots. Now, when you go to damage the zombies, they will have these range attacks, so you may want to, just only do a little bit of damage at a time. It's quite tedious, especially as a solo player. Maybe it would have been a bit easier with a ray gun or something like that. But as you can see, guys, I also did have a gobble gum, which would regenerate my armor for me. Definitely not necessary to do it. It's just that I ended up popping it when I realized that I had no more additional plates. So the first boss fight ended up taking me about 15 minutes of running around the map, just being extremely careful as I obviously did not want to go down. Now, once the first fight's over, you'll notice the smoke, it goes away, but nothing will happen straight away. And the reason for that is because you actually do have to do both rituals, both statue boss fights before the armor pack will drop. So it is quite difficult, but the rewards, honestly, I think will pay off. Now, if you have an insta kill or something like that, it actually will work during the ritual. So that's why it would be best to probably just bring in the ray gun and one of those gobble gums if you really want to just speed run through it. Now, I've also heard of glitches where if you activate a kill streak at the exact same time that you activate the statue ritual, you can actually glitch into kill streaks, but I obviously did not try that, and I wouldn't really recommend it as it could just end up getting patched at any moment. However, there have been reports of people glitching into the ritual with a kill streak by just simply popping the kill streak at the exact same time that they start up the ritual just before the smoke appears. So as you can see now, guys, I'm doing the second boss fight. This one was started up by the portal or the statue right next to the portal. This boss fight is actually considerably easier than the boss fight that's over by Pack-a-Punch because these guys do not have crazy range attacks and they don't do as much damage. You can also damage them a lot easier. So very quickly, guys, let's speed through this boss fight, and I'll show you guys how I was able to get this one done. I pretty much just followed the same method. I just ran around the outskirts of the map. The only difference this time is I made sure that there were extra zombies with me so that I could use their armor pieces to regenerate my health, and I just simply went in with 2 monkey bombs so that I could use the monkey bombs to distract the real zombies. Now, overall, this blood sacrifice ritual, whatever you want to call it, this boss fight, it really did take me about 30 or 40 minutes to do it as a solo player. Now, granted, this was my first attempt, and I probably could have came in here with, I guess, slightly better weapons like a ray gun or something, but overall, it's just a really hard fight, especially as a solo player. So just take your time, be steady with it, and just stick to the outskirts of the map and simply play your health, and you should be able to get it done so long as you do have at least a Pack-a-Punch 3 gold weapon. So hopefully this helps you guys out. I'm going to show you guys exactly what this armor does here in just a second once we finally beat this boss. Now, once you beat the boss, these lasers will appear upon the statues, and if you follow the lasers up towards the portal, it will give you the gold armor for completely free. So after all this struggling, all this fighting, you do at least get the gold armor for completely free. So as you can see, we got both of these done. And now if we come up top, we will get a gold armor pack for completely free. Now, what's crazy about this pack is that it's not only stronger, but it will regenerate itself for free over time. And so it helps quite a bit as when you're going for the final boss run or if you're just going for extremely high rounds. So hopefully this guide helped you guys out, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.